too early. Y'all, I'm not feeling good today. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's stress. Probably, you know, I'm back in a horrible situation, so yeah, probably stress. I need to wake up. I had to go through hell to pay my phone bill this morning, and I still don't know if they work. I hope I have a bottle of water in here, but I don't think I do. I don't. It's half frozen. Good morning. I need to fill this up with water. So I can try to wake up. This morning it's been extremely hard. Really. Lemonade. Part of the reason I quit drinking was because I didn't like to feel hungover. It's one of the main reasons besides fitness. And I knew that it was like poisoning my system, you know. So when I wake up and I'm having a hard day like today, it sucks. It's like, damn, I quit drinking so that I wouldn't feel bad, and I still wake up feeling bad. I swear, I think it's my kidneys. I guess we'll find out when I die. I ain't got no choice. Gotta keep it moving. Gotta keep it moving. Got work to do. Even though I need to be under a tree somewhere relaxing. So I go all the way over to Boost Mobile to pay my phone bills this morning. And on the door, there's a sign that says that they open at 10 a.m., but there's nobody there. So I waited for 40 minutes. Nobody ever showed up. You know, it's so crazy because I filled out over 40,000 job applications in less than 3 years, right? And I could not find a job because there are no jobs, because we're in the middle of a job crisis right now. Have been for about 2.5, 3 years. Companies are laying off. No new businesses are open. And if they do, the number of new businesses pale in comparison to the number of layoffs and bankruptcies that we're having in this country right now. So I couldn't find a job. But everywhere I go, nobody knows how to do their job, nor do they know how to show up on time for their job. Maybe that's why I couldn't find a job. Because I would have been on time and I would have knew how to do my job properly. It's crazy. So when I finally was leaving out of there at like 10:45, she finally pulled up. But by that time, I had already paid my phone bill online, I think. So sick of this. My phone's not working. It was set up for auto draft with my Truist account, but since those heifers closed my account down, everything got all messed up, unbeknownst to me, you know. It sucks because half of the month my phones don't work with Boost, and then the other half my phone doesn't work with Verizon. I don't understand. I swear to God, if this phone is off, I'm gonna be pissed. So this, yeah, my phone's off. My phone's completely off, and I just called and paid the bill. This is crazy. I cannot make this shit up if I tried. So online, it actually said that they opened at 9 a.m. So I was outside of the store at 9:30. And she did not open until after 10:45. And by that time, I had already logged in to my online services, which was a pain in the ass. I had to go through my email. I had to reset a password. I had to verify my account. All of that BS, you know, because like someone else paying my phone bill would be so problematic, you know. Make it make sense. So I go through all of this online bullshit, pay the phone bill, get a confirmation text. They tell me to cut my phone off and then cut it back on, blah, 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 blah. Well, I just did that and now the damn thing's off. Maybe I should have just stayed under that damn maple tree this morning instead of getting up. I was really debating and I was like, do I even want to go deal with life today? Do I? And I just don't feel good, if I'm being honest. Boost Mobile store service has been restored. You sure about that? You sure about that? Y'all don't feel good at all, and the more caffeine I drink, the worse I feel. Well, now I've got to damn bicycle 2-3 miles the opposite direction to figure out what the hell's going on with my phones. Literally says right there, service was restored this morning. So exhausting dealing with these damn people. Every damn day it's something. Every day. My phone is not working at all. Alright, so riddle me this, Batman. These phones are on the same Boost mobile plan. How is this one working, but this one's not? And I just paid $96 for both of these phones because that's what it is a month. I swear to God, if I call them and they say, oh, that was just for this phone, I'm so done. I will tell them to shut it off today and I want a refund. This is exhausting dealing with these damn companies. Just like the bank. This is a financial institution that sells cell phones, okay? They make billions of dollars every year. There is zero excuse for making a phone bill payment and then my phone getting shut off. It was working prior to me making the payment this morning. It was working prior to making the payment. I made the payment and the damn phone's cut off. You know, and these are my lifelines. Y'all hear that dog? It's just crazy. I think it's the heat. I think the heat is really bothering me. It's supposed to be like 95 today or some shit. Do y'all hear that dog just non-stop? The level of entitlement to disrupt the entire neighborhood. Yeah, this phone isn't working at all. God dang it, and I just spilled this shit everywhere. Damn lid wasn't on it. When I say it's hot as hell already, it is hot as hell already. 91, 65% humidity. It says it's going to be 92 today, but it'll be 101 with the heat index. Which means that it'll be 101 because the car will say 101. It's exhausting dealing with damn dumb people. If the temperature reads 99, that's because it's 99. That's not the heat index. If there was a thermometer on the wall and it read 99, that's because it's 99. That damn heat index has got people out here looking like dummies. They don't know what the temperature is no more. The only reason they even put that feels like up there is because they fuck the weather up. That's why. It's a way for them to clean up behind themselves after they make a bad prediction. Got in a car the other day. It said 96 on the inside of the car thermometer. 96. Pulled up the weather app. It says 98, 97, 96. Or, I'm sorry. It said 87, 86. But the car read 96. So who's lying? Google or the thermometer? Because I'm going to trust the thermometer. It said 96. It felt like 106. Google said 86. But the feels like temperature on Google was also 96. So the truck was telling me it was 96. Google said it feels like 96, but it's only 86. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what their prediction was? 85. For the day. It was 85. And then they were trying to gaslight us and tell us it was 86 when it was 96. It absolutely matters because that's exactly how they start brainwashing people. It absolutely matters, because that's how they lie to people, and then misinformation is spread. That little thing like the temperature is exactly why we have people out here repping for Carmelo Anthony. You know what I mean? I can't believe I spilled that. I'm trying to melt this in the sun. Gatorade mixed with caffeine. Can't see nothing. Can't see nothing. Good morning, Devin. Jade, hey. Angie, hello. Hello, Robert. Big Dave. Hello, Wes. I got him at Walmart. Hey, Dairy Lindsay. Lindsay. Thank you, Mario. Blessings to you. Hey, Devin. Block. It is. Hey, Robin. Salvador. Good morning. Yeah, it is hot, y'all. Hot as hell. I'm dreading it, honestly. I'm ready for it to cool off a little bit, but that's going to be down 3 months from now. This is North Carolina. It's hot most of the year. We don't get much of a winter anymore, and when we do, it's right after we had a 90-degree afternoon the day before. I mean, it's crazy. It'll be 89 degrees in the middle of December for a damn week, and then all of a sudden, it'll snow for 2 days. And then it goes back to damn 60 degrees in the middle of damn January. It just does not make sense. It's crazy. We used to have winters here. It used to be cold for 3 months. November, December, January, and then part of February, and half of damn October. The end, at night, it gets cold. It ain't like that no more. Global warming, whatever you want to call it, Mother Nature, nasty ass humans, I don't really care. There's no debating that it's getting hotter and that the weather is changing and that natural disasters are getting more disastrous. There's no arguing with that. Do I think that we need to throw all of our eggs in one basket and damn switch to EV vehicles and put solar panels on every home in America? Absolutely not. We don't have the infrastructure for that. Hell, we don't even have the infrastructure for power. The Trump administration was just on the news last week talking about how all of these power outages are going to start taking place. Talking about how poor the infrastructure is, because when it was built to supply power, it wasn't built to last. And so the administration, the Trump administration, just a few weeks ago was on the news warning. I found it interesting. This is how I know it's going to be major, because they felt the need to warn the public. It's like COVID. No, but I'm being for real. How many times does the government come to us and tell us about the problems? Never. They try to hide them. They try to deny them. They'll do everything but tell us straight up what the hell is going on, you know? So for the Trump administration to come out and say, hey, whoa, you guys, we need to have a meeting, talk it to, we think that we might have some major issues with our power grid, and we think that it wasn't built to last, and so there's a good chance, this is exactly what they said, verbatim. We think that there's a good chance that you guys might lose power throughout the United States. We don't know where, but because our infrastructure is shoddy at best, we know that we're going to have some major power outages in the recent years, in years to come. So this is what they said. In my opinion, they're preparing us for something. I don't know what. I mean, clearly a power outage, the grid going down, mass panic, because you know people will lose their minds if they can't get on Facebook to talk shit. So, yeah, I find it interesting that they warned us. So when it happens, it'll probably be pretty big. And it'll probably mess with people's money, their business. If there's no power, the kids can't go to school. If there's no power, people can't go to work. They can't shower. You know, it'd be pretty major. It'd be pretty major. And you know, it's not like we have public facilities where people can go and shower. There's no communal shower facilities for people. I learned that when I went to Western North Carolina after the hurricane. You know, there's money that goes towards things like that. Those shower trailers. It was crazy. And they didn't have them. FEMA wasn't even on site. I think I'm starting to feel better, but I can't believe this damn phone is off. I don't understand. Why does bad stuff always happen to me? I swear to God, I can't win. Cannot win. I can't see. Hey, thank you, Derry. So much. Rolling blackouts. That's crazy, Evan. Hey, Brooke. Thank you so much again, Derry Lindsay. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope your day is weirdo free. Can y'all even see me over there? Is that better? I look crazy this morning. I had to wash my hair and then I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Is that better? Where's that better? Is that my new shirt? You know, it could just be that it's early and I just don't want to light yet, you know? It could be that it's hot. It could be that I didn't take any magnesium yesterday. Sometimes my body just doesn't want to body. My body's like, body yada 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 yada, naughty 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 naughty. Not doing it. Not doing it. Can y'all believe? Alright, so if you didn't see what happened yesterday, let me tell you what happened. So we decided to do, I did 15 miles altogether, bike ride. So we're bicycling through town. We go get a Subway sub. We decide to sit down on these steps of this church and we're eating our food. And all of a sudden I see a lady in a Nissan Titan waving me over and I'm like, no, I'm not a prostitute. I don't want what you got. No, thank you, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know this lady. I'm not going over to her car. So she comes out of the parking lot she was parked in, trying to flag me over. And she pulls up to the curb of the church. Well, then she starts trying to like mansplain a situation from the bank, and it clicked in my head who she was. I'd made a deposit with her before, right? At the bank, at Truist. Well, I ain't had an account in about 3 weeks because the women that work in that bank are petty and they act like children, and they were messing with a homeless woman's account because they're not happy with themselves. That's exactly what happened. This lady pulls up. This lady pulls up talking about she's not involved with what happened at Truist Bank. For those that don't know, the ladies that worked at the bank closed my account, stole all of the money, and then messed up my gym membership and my cell phone plan. That's why I'm going through this now. So I immediately, I'm just like, first of all, how did this crazy woman find me? YouTube. Then she starts telling me, oh, I didn't have nothing to do with that, blah, 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 blah. I didn't mess your account up. That was them at the bank, blah, 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 blah. And, she's like, you called me fat online and somebody sent me the video because you called me fat. She's like, I'm going to sue you for slander. saw her, a judge will laugh in her face if she tries to sue me for slander. She is fat. Anyways, me and her end up having words, and I start bicycling off from her. Do you know that this heifer starts following me? She pulls back up beside me, and she tells me that she's going to call the law. Let's think about this rationally for a minute. This woman just hunted me down off the internet, and now she's threatening to call the law on me for merely existing, eating a sandwich, and bicycling down the road. And you know me, call the popo, huh? Call him. So I'm like, call him, you know? Like, this is hilarious. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall in the dispatch office. Every time they get trolled, I wish that I could hear those calls. I wish, maybe I can. Maybe I can bicycle down to the sheriff's department and ask them how often they get fake, prank, lying, false police report calls, and if I can get a copy. Because I know that it happens at least once a day, if not more. You guys have been with me. Y'all have seen the cop interactions. You guys have seen me have to deal with them. So anyways, she's sitting there, and she's sitting in the truck, and she's showing me the phone that says 911 on it. Like, and I'm sitting there in my head, like, this is so comical. So comical. You stalked me off the internet, and now you're calling the cops on yourself? So I start bicycling away as fast as possible. She starts following me again. Y'all. She's in a car. So I finally start bicycling up this big hill, and when I look back, she was gone. So I just like got the hell out of there, because I mean, she's clearly a psycho. The level of unprofessionalism, I told y'all, and y'all said, oh no, da, 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 da. Remember? I do. The whole reason that I went in that bank recording myself is because I could feel their energy. I knew they were petty. I knew they were passive aggressive. I knew they were unprofessional, and I knew that they would get unethical, because that's what comes when you get that big. That's how you behave. You turn into an adult bully. I don't make the rules. I just have to deal with them every damn day. So the whole reason that I even stay strapped up with a camera is because of women like that. And then women like that hunt me down off the internet, try to get into a argument, if not a fist fight, in the middle of a church parking lot. And then they stalk me even more, call the cops like a bunch of idiots, because that's what she is. Now she's fat and stupid and a stalker. And she really pulled up talking about you called me fat. Girl, please sue me. Please sue me for slander. Please, so I can go in that courtroom and film you being stupid this time again. You know, what I think the most disturbing part is that she was either fully complicit in messing up my bank account, sending my account into overdraft, and stealing my money, or at the very least, she knew about it and did not report this unethical behavior in her office. Regardless, in my opinion, they're all guilty by association, because they all knew what they were doing. And your actions have directly impacted my life. My money is missing out of my bank account, and you want to roll up and air out some grievances because I called you fat? Who wants to tell her that the way that she behaves that way because of that? I mean, it's really crazy how the world is being ran out here, and it's only going to get worse. Buckle in, folks. Crazy. I mean, what a psycho. What a psycho. You roll up on a triple felony? See, and people like that is why I'm a felon. I mean, for real. When have I ever Try to start some stuff. Every time I turn around, it's some crazy lady out here. Yeah, it was crazy. The lady from the bank hunting me down yesterday. She works there. She's an employee. Like, the level of unprofessionalism is wild. Never have I ever heard of a bank employee hunting down a customer, stalking them off the internet, and then trying to air out a personal grievance. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And, you know, I was thinking, I was like, you know, this is how people accidentally end up dead. Like, seriously, what if I wasn't the type of person to walk away from crazy people? Because I'm just as fucking crazy, if not crazier than she'll ever be. What if I wasn't the type of person to walk away from that childish, immature, petty, self-hatred behavior? That could have went really bad yesterday. And if she would have caught me 10 years prior, it would have. It would have. There's no debating that. I would have pulled her fat ass out of that truck and mopped the street with her fat ass. I'm reformed, but I haven't always been. That's why I have a criminal record. People really be coming out here trying to start shit in these streets. And this is why I record everything. Because even though I have the power to be a complete damn monster, I am not. I want to love people. I want to spread kindness. But for some reason, Satan really wants my soul, honey. And he sends all of his minions to interject themselves into my life over and over and over and over. And you guys got a first-hand glimpse into that yesterday. These people really out here watching my YouTube channel thinking that they are entitled to roll up on me and get my time and attention. Absolutely not. You will be met with hostility, aggression, curse words, and maybe even death. You want to keep playing. This is not a game. People have died for less. I do not take being stalked lightly at all. At all. That bitch ought to be in jail. Oh, thank you, Robin. Love you too, and I hope that you have a wonderful Friday. Yeah, the perverts, no doubt. Hello, Blake. You can't sue nobody for hurting their damn feelings. That's dumb. And what's she gonna get? A 20-year cell phone? A 20-year-old cell phone? Bitch, I'm broke. That's what I told her. I said, sue me, you fat ass. Sue me, fat ass. The audacity. You stalk me off the internet to air out your grievances about somebody calling you fat when you're actually physically 400 pounds. Girl, bye. Please sue me for slander so I can strap up with a camera and laugh about this shit as content. People out here are dumb. They're dumb is what they are. Hello, Healing with Mama. You too, Salvador. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try today. Wake up. You know what's crazy is that if I would have showed up to the bank, I'd go to jail. But she's allowed to stalk me off the internet, harass me in the street, and start an argument. And what do you think would have happened if we would have gotten a physical altercation? Because let me tell you, I would have been the one going to jail, even though she stalked me off the internet. Because that's what happens. Even if I was innocent, which I would have been. I would have been. I didn't hunt her down. She hunted me down. It's crazy. I have a hobby. This is my job. Thank you for supporting my channel. Oh, I know her name. Her name is Nikki Harris. That's why she hunted me down. She said, oh, you said my name on the internet. Yeah, you grimy bitch. You're a scam artist just like every other bitch that works in that bank. And I got proof of it. So sue me for slander so we can laugh at your fat ass on the internet. Closed my account, stole my money, and then you want to pull up feeling some type of way about the fact I called you fat? Bitch, where's my money? And you show up making demands, telling me to stop saying your name on the internet. But you literally sent my account into overdraft, stole all of my money, and caused cell phone and gym membership problems for me. And you think I give a fuck about your feelings? Your actions directly impacted my life and cost me money. You're lucky I'm not truly insane. See, this is what I'm saying. Why is it that financial institutions can behave that way, and then when somebody snaps, rolls up in there and shoots up the bank, then that person is the problem? Maybe that person hadn't eaten that day because those bitches had stole all of their money. See, I see things different. Just like that that McDonald's employee that stabbed her manager to death. No sympathy. Maybe you shouldn't have been a bully and you wouldn't have got stabbed to death. No sympathy. You were playing with someone's income. You thought it was cute to play with someone's income, their livelihood, the food on their table. You sent them home from work over a half a dozen times, playing a game like a high schooler, trying to haze your employee and bully them while they're in the workforce on the job. And then people are surprised when she got stabbed to death. And you know, honestly, it's probably the best interest for the children, because that adult bully was teaching her 6, 7, 8 children to behave the same way she did. And how many children do you think that each of those children would have had? And this is why the world looks like this. 100%. It trickles down. Bad behavior is taught, learned, and passed down from generation to generation. You're a McDonald's manager. You are supposed to have some level of professionalism, ethical practices when you're running that restaurant. You are not to be toying with your employees like this is some cheer camp sorority hazing contest. And that's exactly what that manager was doing to that employee. And now she's dead. Not saying she deserved it, but I am saying maybe if she wasn't a bully, she'd still be alive. And I wonder how many other employees she bullied over the years. Don't be out here playing with people's money, because sometimes you might end up in the grave. Them's fighting actions. Messing with somebody's food, rent, their financial livelihood. If you get shot or something happens to you, you were kind of asking for it because you was messing with somebody's money. Yeah. There's 2 things you don't mess with: somebody's children and somebody's money. And if that leads to your death, you get no sympathy from me because you was messing with somebody's children and somebody's money. It's crazy. They all like, oh, that poor McDonald's manager. What, the mean lady? The mean lady? The lady that was a bully? The lady that was playing with somebody's income, trying to get somebody evicted? She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. This is how these places are ran nowadays. It's like a high school cheer camp. High school college sorority. And let me tell you something. If everybody in the restaurant does something and you don't, you become an outcast. Let's say they all do drugs and alcohol and you refuse to do that and you want no part of it. Then they will haze you and bully you till you quit because you know too much about what they're doing. Don't ask me how I know. I just know how these places are being ran and the lack of professionalism. You know, the service industry has always been sketchy. But it's gotten so bad in recent years. So bad. And that's why we see employees killing customers, customers killing employees, managers killing employees, employees killing managers. These things are going to get worse because of a lack of intelligence and a lack of awareness. People don't even want to admit that there's a problem. You know, society's like crumbling at the damn seams, and people just live with blinders on, and they don't want to talk about serious issues or how to fix them. I saw this morning that the Trump administration, y'all, it's laughable, you know, and it sucks because I wanted him to do great things. I really did. You know, I really liked Trump, and we haven't even made it through the first year, and all of this dirt has came out. All of these secrets have been revealed. The truth is just bubbling over the, you know, the top of the cup. And then I see this homeless thing. Let's talk about this because it's laughable. It's absolutely laughable. Nothing will change. Nothing will be done. That is my prediction. Oh, this phone doesn't work. Hey, I think that's a little better, right? Oh. Listen. Trump signs executive order to push cities to curb homelessness, sleeping, drug use on streets. Listen to this. President Trump has signed an executive order on Thursday aiming to provide resources that would push cities and states to remove homeless people from sleeping on the streets and to crack down on drug use. So I just want to be clear that millions, if not billions, of your tax dollars are going to go and be stolen. None of that money will be used to help anyone. Quite the opposite. What they're going to do is they're going to bust up these homeless encampments, and I'm not saying that doesn't need to take place, but what I am saying is once they do that, those people are not going to have anywhere to go because there are no shelters, and the shelters that are readily available are max capacity. You know, when I heard that he was going to be attempting to give resources to the homeless, a little part of me was like, oh wow, they're gonna start on the foster care system. Wow, they're gonna start reforming the DOC. Same shit, different day. Now they're trying to say that most homeless people are drug addicts. When we've had studies done. We had a study done in 2023. We also had an additional 5 or 6 studies in 2024 that stated the majority of homeless people are homeless because they can't afford rent. There are no drugs and alcohol present on a recreational uses. Like they're not recreationally using drugs and alcohol. So your master plan is to try to refrain people from using drugs and alcohol that don't use drugs and alcohol to start with. Instead, let me just be clear. A lot of these people, most of them, come from the foster care system. 65% of 18-year-old foster care, 65% of them become homeless instantly once they turn 18 years of age. If we want to fix this problem, we need to start with the Department of Corrections and the foster care system, which both branches is ran through the government. So I find it interesting that the government is asking taxpayers for more money to fix a problem when they do not even recognize what that problem is. You cannot fix the problem until you recognize you have a problem. They claim, the federal government, Trump administration, is saying, oh, we've got to clean up these homeless encampments, and we've got to get these homeless people off the street, and we've got to we've got to make them refrain from drugs and alcohol. But the fact is that most people that are living on the streets, they work jobs. They sure do. And they're homeless because they can't afford rent. Let's think about this on a simple level. North Carolina minimum wage is $7 an hour, $7.15. After tax, you're going to get about $5.50 a paycheck, right, per hour. What is that, like $280 a week before taxes, something like that? Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in North Carolina is around $1,200 a month. Even at $280 a week, you could not afford a one-bedroom apartment. At $280 a week, that's your grocery money. That's grocery money. That's what it costs, about $200 a week for a single person to eat nowadays. It's crazy to me that their plan is to bust up these homeless encampments, and these people are in like wooded areas. Those people are just going to end up back in the city because they need shelter. Part of the reason that they go into the woods and make these encampments is because they need shelter. When they're in the city, they're a problem, but then they go to the woods and they make a homeless encampment, and then that's a problem too, and now you're going to go destroy that, and it's going to push them back into the city. This is crazy. The order directs Attorney General Pam Bondi to reverse precedents that limit state and local government's ability to commit people on the streets who are at risk to themselves and others. So let me tell you what they're trying to do. They're trying to involuntarily commit homeless people, and they're changing the law to do that. Let me tell you what happens when they involuntarily commit these people. They take them to a state-ran facility because more often than not, when they're homeless, then they're completely indigent. So it's not like they have insurance. So guess who pays for that? I just want to be clear when we're covering this, you know. So their plan is to involuntarily commit people. And I understand that this says a risk to themselves or others, but this will be misused. This will be extremely misused. They will literally just lock people up to get them off the streets. And 2-3 weeks from now, when the hospital's releasing them, guess where they're going to go back to? The streets, homie. The streets. Oh, thank you, Adele. Thank you so much. If you consider this complaining, then your life is a complete waste. Bye-bye. Can't do all that shit talking now, can you? Taxpayers, exactly. And you know, they're going to involuntarily get these people, and within a week or two, they'll be back out on the streets. The hospital can only keep them so long. And they only have and that's another thing, the hospital receives funding. It's going to be a circle of just money for the government, the hospital. And it's crazy. It also requires interagency work on grants for states to enforce prohibitions to open illicit drug use, urban camping, loitering, squatting, and to track sex offenders. Now that part I agree with. That's about the only thing. And it requires redirecting funds. It requires redirecting funds to ensure people sleeping on the streets and causing public disorder and suffering from serious mental illness or addiction are moved to facilities like treatment centers. Okay, so what about the 700,000 homeless people that are working, that don't have a drug problem? Because this is only about 300,000 that do drugs. We have double the amount that don't do drugs, that work jobs, that are functioning members, contributing members to society. A lot of these people that are on drugs, they'll never get off drugs. They're going to die on the streets. That's their choice. I care about the people that are like me. the ones that are clean, the ones that are striving towards a better tomorrow and simply just want to make enough money to survive. And I can promise you that the number of people sober and stable far outweigh the ones that are on drugs and alcohol. This is crazy, and it frustrates me because the problem is getting worse. We have more people falling into homelessness, families, whole families. Could you imagine you and your wife and your children is on the streets and you walk into some Trump shelter and you're like, yeah, we need help, da-da-da-da, and they're like, oh, we're going to send you right to rehab. You need to go to the mental hospital. You and your children do too many drugs, and we got to send you to a mental hospital. I mean, this is crazy. Additionally, the order requires that discretionary grants for substance use prevention, treatment, and recovery do not go towards funding drug injection sites or illegal drug use. And it aims to stop sex offenders who receive homelessness assistance from being housed with children. Do what? It aims. It doesn't say that it's... Hold on. So this is a legal practice? And then y'all want me to go to a homeless shelter where there's registered sex offenders around children. It aims to stop sex offenders who receive homelessness assistance from being housed with children, and allows programs to house women and children exclusively. If that ain't a damn onion, then I don't know what is. Okay, first of all, let's start with that is them admitting that they have housed children and women with sex offenders. And people tell me to go to a homeless shelter, and I be telling y'all how dangerous they are. As part of Trump's commitment to ending homelessness. Ending? Is this what we're... Y'all, this is unbelievably stupid, this whole situation. You're not ending anything. You're creating another problem for a different administration to have to clean up. This is why this problem has snowballed, because every administration has done the same thing. Y'all say y'all want to fix the problems, and y'all can't even recognize where the problems lay. Foster care, DOC, parental guidance. How about we start with parental classes, parenting classes in home ec again? How about we start with bringing back the fake babies that the children had to tote around for a week for a good grade? Remember that? How about we start with teaching people how to properly parent their children? And I'm not saying overstep your boundaries, but what I am saying, if you want to fix this problem, it is a human problem, it is a social problem, it is an economic problem. Whatever he has done is not going to fix this problem, and it's laughable that they would even say that he's trying to fix it. No, you're passing this problem off to the next person. The audacity. It's getting hot. Because if they wanted to fix it, they would start with drug treatment. They would start with mental hospitals. They would start with the foster care system. Because more often than not, these people that end up back on the streets, they were foster children. It's a fact. So it looks like they're going to go into national parks where there's homeless encampments, and they're going to tear those out, which I agree with. Here we go. Here we go. That's what I'm saying. God, it's so hot. I mean, like, I'm sweating so bad. I'm sweating. So bad. Trump signs an executive order that will worsen homelessness in D.C. It violates rights and wastes resources. Trump's executive order directs the Secretary of the Interior to utilize National Park Service to displace homeless people surviving on federal lands in D.C. with no plan to... I told y'all this was coming. I told y'all this was coming last year. I said, so van lifers, typically, if they have like one of those Sprinter vans, you got to go find state land to park on. Or if you live in a car, or if you're homeless, it's always been state land that you could go stay on. And over there at the military base in Jacksonville, where they had all those homeless encampments, remember when they were cleaning up all those homeless encampments, and I told you guys that I was surprised that the state still allowed those homeless people to live in those woods? I said it won't last long. Full circle moment. So this is talking about how Trump signed an executive order to ban anyone from living on federal state land. And that's typically where homeless people go. So this actually might get worse than I said 5 minutes ago, because what's going to happen is that the state will go in with workers. They'll bombard the homeless people, okay, with like super short notice. They'll be like, you have 5 minutes to grab all your shit and get out because the cops are here. And so those homeless people are going to be pushed back into the city. There's nowhere else for them to go. They'll have to be on a city street, because if the state lands and the federal lands that they had access to are now not accessible, then they're going to be in the streets. That's how that works. So they were kind of out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, you knew that they were over there next to that landfill, or you knew that they were staying behind roses, but the state shows up, burns their homeless encampment, and kicks them off the land, and now they're in your front yard. Where do you want them to go? There are no shelters. Not here. Where do you want them to go? You say you want them to get a job, but there are no jobs. And there's nowhere for them to shower either. Are they supposed to walk into a job interview smelling like shit? I think humanity is heartless. I think people are heartless. Most people don't go a day without food or sleep or anything like that, and then they want to pass judgment on other people who have been without, and it's crazy. And they're like, oh, they're on drugs. No, they're literally going out of their mind because they haven't had sleep or food or a shower in a year. You would be too. You would absolutely go out of your mind. Some of y'all would go out of your mind if you went a day without eating. So this article is saying that's going to make it worse. That's what I said. Oh, got hair everywhere. Signs executive order making it easier to remove homeless people from the streets. That's his idea of fixing the homeless problem. Not addressing the mental health crisis that we have in this country, not addressing the substance abuse crisis we have in this country, not addressing the rent crisis, the housing crisis, the job crisis. I could go on. No, let's sign an executive order so that law enforcement can go bust up these encampments and push them elsewhere. It's like deer when they come and they cut down all the trees in the forest and the deers have nowhere to go. Same thing. I'm so disappointed in this administration, and it hasn't even been a year. And I genuinely think that this is the world now. I think it'll only get worse. There's nothing we can do to stop the train that's on fire, barreling towards an old rig. Seriously. This is my job. Thank you for supporting my channel. He said his administration will take a new approach focused on public safety. just have a huge problem with saying that you're going to combat and fix an issue, and then, what do I always say? People tell you what's on their mind if you're listening. What did he say? My administration will take a new approach focused on protecting public safety. This has nothing to do with fixing the homeless problem, helping the homeless. This has everything to do with public safety. You know, homeless people cause a lot of problems. We're not all the same, though. That's 700,000 approximate that work, that are functioning, that don't do drugs, that are striving towards a better tomorrow. Yeah. So disappointed. Swept under the carpet. Another 3 months. Like, what the hell is wrong with people? They don't even realize they're stalkers. If I block you, that's because I want you to disappear. Then you go and create a fake account and come back. You're a stalker. That's what a stalker is. I said go away, so you go and make a fake account and come back the next day. Stalker. It's crazy. Stalker. So it looks like in the executive order, the president also asked Bondi to work with the Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the Department of Transportation to prioritize federal grants for states and cities that enforce prohibitions to open illicit drug use, urban camping, and loitering. So instead of spending those billions of dollars, millions of dollars, billions, on actually combating and fixing the problem, they're going to spend that money on pushing the homeless people elsewhere so they can build another homeless. And let me tell you, these people will build encampment after encampment. So just because the administration goes in there and cleans out that homeless encampment, it'll be a few weeks before there's another one. It's not going to fix, combat anything. All it's going to do is push them down the road. They'll build another encampment, and it's just going to be money funneled to clean up this mess. They will send workers out there to pick up all of the debris, put it on a truck, and then haul it off to the landfill. That's what your tax dollars are going towards. Instead of opening mental hospitals, rehabs, and using that money to actually help people, they're just going to funnel money, and money is probably going to disappear, because that's what always happens. Yeah, for real. I mean, I've seen them do it in Jacksonville. They show up with truckloads of men, like city workers, and they go out there and they start getting all that debris out the woods. I mean, it'll be everything from tires to car batteries, and a lot of those encampments, a lot of meth heads. That's actually probably one of the most common problems with people that do methamphetamine. When they're homeless, they make these encampments. It's a huge problem nationally. I agree. But I think that arresting the meth head for doing meth and then maybe offering drug rehab would be a better plan of action, rather than leaving them on the streets for them to kill themselves and build another homeless encampment that we just have to clean up 2 weeks from now and spend more tax dollars to do so. It's crazy. Meth camps, that's what we call them. Yeah, you see that. Bad. Bitch, I don't like the way you want to talk. You can suck my dick. Bye. He cares more about the people than Kamala Harris. There's no debate about that. That bitch was off her rocker. She's a Marxist too, you dumbass. People are wild. There's not even a debate who was the less two evils. Not even a debate in the slightest. Matter of fact, anybody that thinks Kamala Harris was a good candidate needs to have their head checked. Y'all, it's so hot already. I'm miserable. Damn, my spinach is all wilted. I brought lunch. Just chicken, hot honey chicken sandwich with spinach, mayonnaise, and avocado. Nothing major, you know. And they just moved down the road or deeper into the woods. That's what I'm talking about, Eric. Exactly. That's the way it was when I lived in Florida. In Jacksonville, there's tons of homeless people, and they just hole up in the woods. And then I told you guys, you know, it's so crazy we're talking about this now, because last year when I was in Jacksonville, we would ride by there and I would show you guys the homeless encampments and all the meth heads out there. And we would talk about it, and I would say, I'm surprised that the federal government hasn't done something about this. And then sure enough, a week later, they did something about it. It didn't change anything. All the homeless people did was switch what side of the road they were on, and they went across the street. You know? That's all they did. They literally moved across the street. And that's exactly what they'll do across this country. That's just money being stolen, in my opinion. It's a way for them to funnel money somewhere and lie about it. Oh, it cost us billions of dollars to clean up those encampments. But that's a revolving door. Because those homeless people are just going to move down the road and make another encampment. So what, you're just going to do this for the next 4 years and swindle money out the taxpayer like the Biden administration did from FEMA? Like, come on, man. That's exactly what they're setting the stage to steal money, in my opinion. $12 beds sounds about right. Sounds about right. Even in major cities like Greensboro, they don't have a huge shelter. They don't even have a shelter to sleep in overnight. Hey Siri, you ain't worth a shit. All that money for nothing. Over 300,000 people live in Greensboro, North Carolina, and they don't have a homeless shelter. And that's why they're in the damn woods, you know? Oh, thank you, Lone Wolf. I hope you're doing well. That's why they're in the damn woods. Harris always sounded like she was a cheerleader giving a book report to the class about a book she didn't read, for real. $40 away. Yeah, the one that's like that here, Auslander. It's called the Interactive Resource Center, and you can't even stay overnight there. There's no beds at all. You can't sleep there or anything. They don't have anywhere for the residents to sleep. They're only open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and that's Monday through Friday. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And they received over $3 million last year just in donations. That's not including grants, private donations, stuff like that. Oh, well, welcome. Yeah, I think it's laughable. Y'all remember that girl from Ukraine? Hold on one second. This girl right here that went to one of them porta potty parties in Dubai. Okay, so she's an OnlyFans model. And as I've told you guys, these girls that are OnlyFans models, they're actually prostitutes. They're escorts. OnlyFans is not a lucrative income. You would have to be in the top 1%. You'd have to be Nicki Minaj, Bad Baby, in order to actually generate an actual income. And an actual income, to me, would be around $4,000 to $5,000 a month to live comfortably. That would be rent, car payment, insurance, power, water, groceries, and maybe you could save $100 a month if you were lucky. That's a comfortable income in today's society, $4,000 to $5,000, and that's not even comfortable. That's really just barely getting by, right? Most OnlyFans models make nowhere near that. On average, they make around $500, $700 a month. I know this personally because I used to work with OnlyFans models. I was never an OnlyFans model myself. I would never be that degenerate. So anyways, these girls don't make money. Modern misconception, oh, she's an OnlyFans model, she makes money. It's a lie, okay? So the truth is because of the lack of income, the majority of these girls turn into prostitutes. They actually see customers from their OnlyFans and they link up with them and they'll fly around the world and have sex with them. So this is what happened to this girl. Now her story, I do not believe. I don't believe a word of it. I don't believe a word of it. Not a word of it. She says that she met these guys in the hotel that she was staying at. She said that she flew to Dubai for a modeling gig. Modeling gig. If you're an OnlyFans model, you can film that from the luxury of your home, right? Why do you need to fly to Dubai? Anyways, she had a modeling gig. It's her story. We'll let her lie. We'll let her tell it. She said that she met these men in the lobby of the hotel that she was staying at. So they found her on the roadside almost dead with a broken spine, gash to the head. She was severely injured. Someone had clearly beat the hell out of her and tried to kill her, right? She is now wheelchair bound. And I just want to show you the gash on her head because it literally goes from one side of the forehead all the way around. So you can see that her head was like bashed in. She also had a broken spine, like I said, along with other wounds. She was just released from hospital. I do believe that she's Ukrainian. Hold on one second. This is what she had to say when she was interviewed for Sidebar with Jesse Weber, which is Crime and Lone Crime Network. You can go see that over there. She said, most likely there was a blow to my head, I suppose. The next scene I remember is asking for help from a passing car, which had already stopped and called the ambulance and the police. I think that maybe I was thrown or it was a beating. One of the two options. The injuries looked like a beating or either a fall. So it was first reported that she was actually found off to the side of a construction site. They thought that she had fallen off of this construction site because her injuries were so severe. She's claiming that she met 2 or 3 guys in this hotel lobby. She went to go hang out with them. She can't remember nothing. And then she was found on the side of the road and she claims she doesn't remember anything. I don't believe a freaking word of it. I don't believe a word. Don't believe a word of it. Thank you. Legal. Eagle, thank you. I don't believe a word of it. I think that she went there with the intention of meeting a client for sex for money. And I think that it went horribly wrong, probably because of cultural differences. She's more of a Westerner. This is Dubai. If you know, you know. None of her story makes sense. I don't want to say that she's not telling the truth, but her story does not make sense. And given the circumstances of her being an OnlyFans model and admitting that she flew over there for a modeling gig, aka code word for prostitution. That's what they're calling it these days. Oh, I flew to go model. No, you flew to go suck up. Anyways, you know, that's what they're going to call it. But I'm just here to tell you that, yes, most OnlyFans models are prostitutes. Most. That's how they supplement income. That's what their job actually is. And one day, I can't wait till that day when these OnlyFans models figure out that they were exploited, when they want to sit down and talk about it. I'll be here. We're all willing to listen to how you were used and you were misguided. Also want to see how much money you made so we can share that too, because I know you didn't make any. So, you know, it's sad. It's sad. Her story doesn't make sense. She claims she don't remember nothing. Don't know if she'll ever be able to walk again. She seemed a little off in her interview. I mean, she almost just died. So, you know, I think that it's a learning lesson for women who are thinking about getting into that industry. The reality is that you're not going to make money, and the reality is that you'll have to sell your body in order to make money. That's what they're not going to tell you, but I can promise you one day there'll be tons of women that come forward telling you what I'm telling you. Just remember, you heard it here first. Common sense is not that common, you know? It's crazy. Yeah, she almost died. What was her name? I can't say it. Who was the Ukrainian OnlyFans model that almost died in Dubai? Maria, Kovalchuc. She's 20 years old. She had a broken spine, fractures to her limbs. She had been missing for 10 days. So her and her family are disputing that she fell off of a construction site. She alleged that she was attacked after refusing sexual advances from a wealthy Russian and Ukrainian businessman at a party. I don't believe none of this. I don't believe none of this. So you willingly sell your body on the internet, but you refuse these wealthy businessmen's offer? Y'all, her story just don't make sense at all. She claims she attempted to escape but was tracked down, beaten, and thrown from a ledge. Her case has raised concerns about the exploitation of influencers and models at porta parties in Dubai. And that is exactly what it sounds like. Everything that goes into a porta potty goes onto these models. Use your imagination. It's disgusting. She denied involvement with such events, maintaining she was assaulted by individuals she met at a hotel party. It's crazy. You think so? A moving car? Could have been. Maria, who was 20, was missing for 10 days after informing friends that she was invited to a hotel party in Dubai on March 9th, causing her loved ones to worry after she missed a scheduled flight to Thailand. She was discovered on a Dubai road on March 19th with multiple injuries, including a broken spine and several broken limbs. I wonder if they did a toxicology on her at the hospital. I want a tox. 10 days, huh? Long enough to have a nice coke binge party, you know? I want a tox. I don't believe none of her story. I don't understand why she would lie to cover up who done it. Yeah. Why would she lie? To hide who actually done it. The model is in stable condition, and the Ukrainian police have opened a human trafficking case related to her disappearance. Prior to her disappearance, Maria reportedly told Anna, who was her mother or her friend, that she was staying with two men who introduced themselves as representatives of the modeling business. See what I mean? How do we go from you were staying with two men to you met two men in the hotel lobby? Good morning. It don't make sense. As for the hotel party, she told friends she was invited to. It's not yet clear if she actually attended. And she claims that she did, because that's where she's claiming that she met these wealthy Russian businessmen that she turned down their advances. But she also was staying with two different guys that were part of some modeling agency, allegedly. The whole thing is weird. I think she was selling her body. I think that she went there with the intent of selling her body, and I think that she probably was with those guys for days, probably doing drugs, having sex, and they were brutal. And they probably either A, tossed her out of a moving car, or B, tossed her off a damn building, because she absolutely had injuries that were consistent with A or B. And so, you know, she's lucky she's not dead. It's just crazy. I don't know. It's weird. It's absolutely weird. I think that you'd have to be really naive to think that some OnlyFans model just flew there for some modeling gig. That's crazy. That doesn't even make sense in the slightest. The only reason she would have to fly there is to sell her body. Anything outside of that could have been done from elsewhere. You see what I'm saying? So it's weird. I do think that she was a prostitute, in my opinion. And that would be professional opinion, because I worked in sex work for 20 years almost. So I do think that she was selling her body. And I do think that she probably was willing to do that. And then they were probably extremely brutal, like I said. And they probably tried to get rid of her, and she lived. So I don't know. We don't know. And it doesn't seem like she wants to tell the truth. So, you know, we'll probably never know what happened to her. Oh, yeah, definitely the Middle East. Dubai, too. That's become like the new place for only models to go. You know, they go and they get shit on and they make a bag. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. You know, something happened when cell phones come about that has like rewired people's brains, not in a good way, in a bad way. They're becoming more violent. We were learning about this the other day, but they're definitely becoming more violent. Hell, most guys nowadays, if they're under the age of 30, they don't even know how to have a conversation with a girl, you know? We see that in my comment section all the time. So, yeah, I don't know. And, you know, another thing, if her family doesn't know, you know, the truth about her prostitution, then, of course, she's going to try to cover it up and deny it and say that she was harmed instead of what actually happened. I don't know. She's got that look, too, you know, like the OnlyFans money hungry, you know. I don't know. It's weird. I want some Gatorade. Much tastes like Gatorade, I guess, because it was frozen. All you have to do is look up OnlyFans model that was found on the roadside in Dubai, and it'll come right up. It's Maria something. I just read it off. I'm so mad about my phone. I just paid it. It's not working at all. It makes me so mad. Oh my God, look at this. Y'all see this? Y'all see this guy? Well, I don't know how to correctly say, because this guy thinks that he's a girl. And so he was placed in a women's jail. Listen. Then he was let out of jail. And he tried to kidnap a little boy this past week. Hold on one second. Look at this. Look at this. What in the hell? His makeup. Hold on. So he showed up on this school campus. And right here, he is trying to kidnap a child. He actually fought with the child, got the child on the ground, and he actually has one of the legs in his arms. And he's trying to pull the child away. And finally, staff came running to get him off the child. Oh, yeah, Sneaky Beaver. There was another guy that they put in women's prison, and he got 2 of the inmates pregnant because he said he was transgender. Oh, there have been other prisoners, other men that was put in women's prison, and they actually raped women. When I tell you that rational and common sense, it does not exist anymore. So he had priors, this guy had priors for messing with children. Go figure. And for some reason the judge let him out. That's why the public had a huge problem with this when he tried to kidnap that little boy on school property, because he should have never been out of jail. He was a sex offender who could not stop reoffending. And then he went and tried to kidnap an 8-year-old boy from school. It's crazy. I know, ain't that crazy? Desert Holly? Absolutely crazy. Mental health problems are bad. And can we talk about the guy from Jacksonville that got punched in the face? Because if you haven't seen this viral video of this guy getting whacked in the face. You too, Sneaky Beaver. Thank you. So when I originally saw the video, I saw it completely out of context. Then I went and found the original video. And as it just so happens, this guy doesn't know how to listen, nor does he know how to follow orders. So let me set the scene, because he was punched in the face several times after he was dragged out of the car and his windows were busted. What happened was it was drizzling in Jacksonville, Florida. When I initially saw the video, I was really shocked at how they beat the hell out of him and pulled him out of that car, because that's not been my experience in Jacksonville with the sheriff's department. I really felt bad for the guy. I thought that the cops had overstepped their boundaries. But what happened was he had no headlights on. It was drizzling. He also had no driver's license. He also had a huge bag of marijuana, all of which are against the law. He was pulled over for not having his headlights on. Something so simple led to all of this. Let's just think about this rationally. If he would have been doing what he was supposed to do, he would have never been pulled. It's his own fault that he was pulled, because he had no headlights on. Anyways, he decides that he's not going to follow orders. He's not going to get out of the car. He doesn't want to give over license and registration. He's actually sitting with the car door open, arguing with law enforcement. Why you pull me over? Why you pull me over? They don't, sir, he's already told you you had no headlights on. He then proceeds to shut the car door, and he tries to negotiate with law enforcement through the sunroof. His window was busted. He was punched in the face. He was pulled out of the car. He was punched in the face again. He was tackled to the ground. It looked like they whooped his ass. I smile because I've actually had my ass really whooped by the law enforcement before, so I find it funny that people think that that was just, oh my God. I would have hate for you guys to have seen what they did to me in a holding cell back in 2009. That's to what I received back in 2009. It's laughable. You know, those punches to the face might actually get him to follow orders next time. Yeah, I have a feeling that the next time he's stopped, because there will be a next time, because he does not even recognize where he fucked up. Maybe next time when he's stopped, he'll follow orders. Maybe those punches to the face will jar his memory. Maybe when he sees that badge and that gun, he'll say, oh God, last time I got punched in the face. Maybe I should act right this time. That one punch to the face was freaking brutal. It was. I've had worse. But anyways, then, first of all, when I see that lawyer, that one guy, y'all know that guy. Every time I see him, I'm like, here his dumb ass is again. Can't stand that guy. Ben Crosby, is that his name? This phone don't work. Jesus. Let's see. Ben Crosby. Is that his name? No. Who's the lawyer representing the guy in Jacksonville that was punched in the face? Benjamin Crump, thank you. Every time I see him, I'm just like, oh God, here we go, you know? Like, every single officer, black person crime, you know, he pops up out of nowhere ready to represent, you know, blame it on the rain. Ben Crosby was the 70s singer. You knew what I meant, though. Benjamin Crump. Thank you. Yeah, not only did he not follow orders, but they told him like 8 times to get out of the damn car. It doesn't matter that your feelings don't matter. Just because you're scared and embarrassed does not mean that you don't have to follow orders. The fact is that if an officer tells you to do something, you do it. Unless he's telling you to, Lord forbid, kill somebody. I mean, we really need to take it back to a place of home ec and really teach people how to behave. We really do. Ain't it crazy that when we had Jesus front and center in this country, things went a lot smoother and people were better people? I'm not saying it's got to be Jesus, but it needs to be something. Like literally, from like high school through college, we really need to gear people in the right direction. This is crazy. He could have got shot and killed, and if he would have, I wouldn't feel no sympathy for him, because he doesn't know how to listen, nor communicate, nor follow orders, and he had no license and a big old bag of weed. It's like damn George Floyd over here, Jr. And you know, the thing is if he would have been saying I can't breathe, I would have been like, yeah, I bet you can't. You just got the wind knocked out of you, didn't you, boy? I mean, that cop said, wham! I mean, he hit him so hard, it knocked him into next week, honey. He was seeing stars. You could see the stars around his head like it was a Looney Tune commercial. They knocked his window out, and then they just cold cocked his ass. They grabbed him out of the car. First of all, I love how he sets up the camera to get sympathy, and then he looks right at it right before he gets punched. It's comic gold. Comic gold. I mean, he did. He looked at the camera all sad and shit, like he knew what was coming. He says, and then he gets punched, and then he says, and they pull his ass out the car, punch him again, beat the hell out of him. I bet as he was catching them bows to the head, he was like, damn, I should have listened the first 8 times that they told. Yes, there's a counter. Benny Johnson, if you want to see the video, there's a counter. They told him over 8 times to step out of the vehicle. The fact is that those officers do not know if he has a weapon. They have to protect. They have every right to protect themselves as well. And they also have a duty to protect him from himself. I can't believe we have to have discussions in 2025. Once again, we are in a place of society where people do not know the difference between right and wrong. Nor do they know their legal rights. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know? I saw a woman almost get kidnapped. And the whole news article about her being kidnapped out of her job. She was at work in a gas station, homie. And some customer comes in the store and tries to kidnap her. He actually tried to steal something. They had words, and then he grabbed her. Regardless, he tried to kidnap her. He pulled her out of the store, got her all the way to his car, and then tried to shove her in. You know, that entire news article was explaining why she fought back. It was explaining that she fought back and that she had a legal right to do so. The article wasn't talking about how he was wrong, how he deserved to get his ass kicked. None of that. It was saying, oh, Emma felt like she had to fight back. Emma knew that he was going to shove her in his car. Emma, you know, it was crazy. That really showed me that we are at a place in society where women are scared to defend themselves. The way that the article was wrote, it shows that the media is scared to tell women that they can defend themselves. It's crazy. Yeah, he deserved to get punched in the face. When I first saw that, I saw it completely out of context, and the first thing I did was jump in the comment section like, oh my God, I feel so bad for this guy. And then I saw the original video. I gotta start looking up stuff better. Then I saw the original video of him being argumentative with officers, not following directives, and then closing the car door. If you were so scared of them, why did you initially open the car door to have a conversation with them? For the first 5 minutes of that traffic stop, the door was open. If you're so scared, why did you open the door? And why can't you now exit the car? He wasn't scared. The only thing he was scared of was going to jail with no license and getting caught with that marijuana, which is what happened. You know, here's the crazy part. You want to know the crazy part? Both of those offenses are misdemeanor charges, and if he would have been compliant, there's a great chance that since the Duval County Jail is so booked, okay, Jacksonville, Florida, there's a good chance that those officers who were very understanding down there would have wrote him a citation. They didn't have to arrest him for the weed, and they sure as hell didn't have to arrest him for driving on a suspended license. If he would have been compliant, there's a 50% chance that he may have been able to walk home that day. But his own stupidity, the lack of intelligence led to him losing his car window, and it appears a few teeth. When I saw him in an interview, he only had one big tooth right there. So I don't know if that came from the punches to the noggin or if that was natural. I don't know. But the fact is that I've been caught with marijuana before when I was 20, I don't know. And they destroyed it. They didn't even write me a ticket, homie. He took it, destroyed it in front of me, and let me go. And then when I was like, I don't know, 22 or something, I had a glass bowl on me, and I was busted with it, and the cop made me destroy it, and he wrote me a ticket for it, but he let me go, but I had to show up for court for possession of paraphernalia. But he destroyed it, and he did not arrest me. I've also been stopped for driving on a suspended license, and they let me call a ride. They did charge me with DWLR, driving while license revoked, but they let me go and did not arrest me on the spot. I had a court date, got a ticket, had to pay money, got in big trouble. But the fact is I wasn't arrested. So this is how I know this, because I've had my own run-ins from DWLR, which is what this guy was stopped for, driving while license revoked, and simple possession of marijuana. So there was no reason to arrest him. His own stupidity led to all of this buffoonery that now has led to an officer being laid off, which I agree with. I mean, that punch was brutal. That was absolutely an abuse of power. He could have busted the window, unlocked the door, and pulled the suspect out of the car. That's not what took place. He reached through the window and touched him with the fist of Thor, honey. I mean, he cold-cocked the hell out of him. So that officer has been suspended, laid off. Benjamin Crump is now representing the suspect who was arrested, and he was arrested on a slew of charges, resisting arrest. So I do believe he's out of jail now. It looks bad when you don't know the context. When you see the original video, you can see how many times they told him to get out of the car, how many times they, at this point, there's like 4 or 5 cops out there surrounding the vehicle. They don't know if he has a weapon or what he's going to try to do. Let's not forget that it's literally their job to handle these types of situations, so maybe we should let them do that. The actual video of the police body camera footage, which you can find, I think, on Law and Crime Network, you can see that the officers did not want problems. They were negotiating. I was actually surprised how much they negotiated with him. They won't do that in North Carolina. He better be glad he was in Florida, because if he was in North Carolina, he might be dead. Seriously. They wouldn't have told him that many times, and they probably would have shot his ass. Don't F around and find out. What was surprising was how much I could tell those officers didn't want no problem. They wanted this to be a routine traffic stop. They wanted to charge him with a DWLR, make his mama come pick him up, and call it a day. You can hear that in the body cam footage from the officers. They are pleading with him to just obey orders. We just want you to get out of the car so that we can make sure you don't have a weapon. We just want to make sure that you have a license to drive. And he didn't. He didn't. Maybe he was baiting for the lawsuit. That's what it looks like, Sneaky Beaver. That's exactly what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like in the video that was cut to show him being punched and the window being broken at the same time. Hello? Oh, God. Anyone being ignorant will be blocked. I'm in the sunlight. Maybe you should look up what an eye does in the light. It's crazy. I'm sitting here like literally talking about something that most people can't even comprehend because they're clearly on drugs. And they're over here talking about stupid shit. Always. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, the whole situation. They told him over and over to get out. He didn't want to comply with orders. So he got his window broke. He got punched in the face. And maybe next time that he's pulled, because there will be a next time, maybe he'll follow orders then. Maybe he'll think about, maybe he'll have some PTSD. Maybe he'll be like, oh, God, the last time this happened, I got punched in the face and lost teeth. Like, were you breaking the law last time? Yep. Are you breaking the law this time? Probably. Some people never learn. They don't. They don't. Nobody likes accountability anymore. Yeah, it's crazy. He got cold cocked from hell. Oh, yeah, I have the video. He actually had his door open for about 5 minutes. So you're scared of the cops, but you're hanging out of the car. Now what happened was this was during the initial 2 minutes of the stop. As soon as he was pulled, he opens the door and he says that his driver window is broken. Okay, all cool. They then ask him to step out. He then starts to try to negotiate with them. And you all know that we do not negotiate with terrorists. So they tell him to get out of the car. He does not want to comply. He shuts the door back. And that's when they start to negotiate with him through the sunroof. They still do not know if he's armed, if he's dangerous. The first 4 times, 5th time, that was and it was 8 times that they told him to get out of that car. They then proceeded to bust the window, punch him in the face, drag his ass out, punch him in the face again, whoop his ass, put him in handcuffs, whoop his ass some more, and hold him off to the damn Jacksonville jail. He's only, 22 years of age? He'll learn. Hopefully. He ain't there yet. His brain ain't even developed yet. His femur, his hippocampus, none of that shit's even, and that is responsible for decisions, for risk-taking, immaturity. Yeah, so those parts of the brain that are supposed to aid in him not making stupid decisions, it's not fully developed yet. So maybe there's some hope for him, okay? Maybe. I have a feeling his ass might be back in the news again. need to make up my mind if I'm going to work out today or not. I'm honestly being really lazy. I don't know why. I go through these moods. I really do. I go through these moods. I think I'm still going through like my PMDD symptoms for the month. It could be the heat and it could be the sun because my eyes hurt. My eyes hurt already and I'm not even in the sun. They get burnt because I'm out here in the sunlight so much. Oh, I forgot this phone don't work. Damn it. I don't know what to do. Cut it off and cut it back on. Maybe call them. How did the other one work, but this one don't? I don't understand. They're on the same plan. So when I paid one, the other phone bill should have rolled over and it didn't. And this one's off. I know Hulk Hogan. I can't believe he died. Crazy. Everybody's dying this week. Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I'm about to run. I had a bicycle into town and figure out what's going on with my phone. You know, it's not working. I just cut it off and cut it back on to see if it'll work. I guess we're going to have to bicycle to Boost Mobile. Yeah, because it's not working at all. Is this going to work? Okay, so why is my YouTube and stuff not working? Is it back on now? Ow. Oh, I think it's back on, y'all. I cut it off and cut it back on, and now it's working, I think. Let's see what the weather's going to be. Feels like 97. It was supposed to be 91. It's going to be 95 today. Well, it's already 97. They say it's the heat index, but I say otherwise because if I see a thermometer and it says 97, then it's 97. And that's what's been happening. How can do I need to do like a whole story on this? Can prove the damn Weather Channel wrong by buying a thermometer and showing y'all what I'm talking about? It's every bit of 97 out here. I don't care that it says it feels like and it's only 91. That's bullshit. Bullshit. It's exhausting doing the damn this heat. Alright, I'm about to go bicycle to Boost Mobile and then we're gonna get lunch. Eat lunch. Okay, I'm getting up. Getting up. I've got a 2-3 mile hike into town. Oh, my phone's working now. Shit, I don't need to go to Boost Mobile. Yeah, the heat ain't no joke for real. But either way, I'm gonna run. I gotta use the bathroom. I'm gonna go in here and use the bathroom and then we'll go eat lunch. I gotta charge you up and switch over my other phone that I just paid today. Sorry. Yeah. I'm gonna use the bathroom and then we're gonna go eat lunch, okay? Okay? Okay, baby squirrel? And I also need to go in here and see if they've got, water. I love you guys, and thanks for hanging out and talking news this morning. I'm so excited to make that sandwich. Oh my god. Oh, I brought chicken. I started to say, oh my god, I forgot the ham to go in the middle of the sandwich, but I brought hot honey chicken. I'm so excited for it. So excited. But I love you guys, and we'll talk in a little while, and I'm going to try to cool off a little bit and use the bathroom, and then we're going to go for a cycle ride. I don't know how far we'll do today, but it's hot, so we'll do some. But I love you guys, and thanks for hanging out with me. If you ever stop by the cops, obey orders, and you won't end up like George Floyd. It's pretty simple. Don't break the law. You won't have to deal with the law, you know? Pretty simple. Cut your headlights on. Make sure your brake lights work. Make sure you got a tag. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. You know, it's so crazy because I talked to a cop years ago, and he said they have their major drug bust. It's always some minor infraction. No insurance on the car, broken headlight, broken tail light. Like, he was a state trooper, and he used to tell me stuff like that. It would always be something minor, something simple, you know? Yeah. You got to keep up with that stuff. If you're driving on the road, it's your responsibility. But I love you guys, and we're going to hang out later. I'm going to use the bathroom, and y'all be safe, and get outside today. It's Friday, start of the weekend. We're going to kick ass and take names. We're going to have some fun this weekend. I actually have plans. We have plans this weekend, so I hope your bathing suit ready to be outside, because we got plans, okay? I'm excited. Love you guys. Please pray for me. God knows I need it, and I'm praying for y'all. Bye, y'all. Happy Friday. You stay awesome.